Hey Jacob, we've seen you go through kind of those extensive pregame throwing sessions with Marcus Brady. What goes into those, and how often do you do those?
Yeah, so those are basically every Sunday, home or away. We'll pick out some plays from the game plan and just kind of go through the drop, the progression, play action. Hit the shots that we think might happen in the game. So those are fun. Always getting out there and kind of go. That's kind of like my game day. Kind of go through the mental check and get a couple throws here and there. If I miss one, I can always get it back at the end. So I like Sundays a lot, just kind of going out there and letting it rip on the field and kind of putting on a little show for an hour before the game.
Ken Sterling.
Say it again.
Oh, he was calling out my name.
Oh, I got it.
Jacob, where are you in your development? How do you compare where you are today via where you were when you were drafted?
I'm very, very happy with where my development's going. It's really, Frank says 1% every day and win the day each day. And whether it's in meetings and, doing protections or going through game plan or, seeing, Nick Sirianni, teaching a concept and, all these things I'm getting every day are just kind of adding up. And, I feel very confident in the game plan each week, but, by Saturday, Sunday, I get to see what Philip's thinking, what Jacoby's thinking, the conversations back and forth between Frank, Nick, Philip, Jacoby, and Marcus really every day, have, and then having me as an observant, just kind of watching and analyzing what's going on has been huge. So I'm happy with where my development's at. We got a long season ahead and I'm going to continue to grow there. So, at this stage, I'm happy with where I'm at going into bye week.
Kevin Bowen.
Hey, Jacob, how do you make up for the lack of physical reps? Obviously, no preseason, huge bummer, but how do you go about that on a weekly basis without getting a whole lot in practice or even, obviously, the game?
Yeah, that's where I kind of stay after practice and kind of similar to what I do on Sundays. We'll have the practice script for the day, and I'll pick out some plays from there, and Marcus will run through some things with me. We'll do that, and then even after that, I'll stay and do some footwork drills, some escape drills, and just kind of go through what I think I need to work on. Maybe it's one or two things a day. I don't want to overdo it all on a Tuesday and then come back out sore on a Wednesday. So wherever I think I need to get some more reps in, I'll pull a couple of receivers aside and work on that. And the rest of it's just the mental reps from practice. I got my helmet on all practice. I can hear the call. I can see the adjustments Phillips making at the line of scrimmage, and I'm standing back there with Jacoby, while Phillips running it. And then, I'm even watching Jacoby on the scout team, seeing what he's doing, pocket movement wise, where he's pointing the mic, this and that. So a lot of it is mental during practice, but then after practice, I get my physical work in.
Go a couple more here. Mike Chappell.
Hey, Jacob, Frank talked about your time in the quarterback's room with Philip and Jacoby's in value. You called it gold for you. What's it like in there, and what do you try to glean from what's going on in there?
It's pretty surreal. I've mentioned it before, but just being in a room with Philip Rivers and Jacoby Brissett, two guys who have played a lot of football in the league, and hearing how they break down a 3rd and 2 to 3 call, or hearing how what their opinions are on a first and second down play call. I don't say a whole ton. A lot of the time I'm sitting back there kind of taking notes and observing and taking it all in. I feel like that's where I'm at in my first year, but I understand where they're going with things. I like to figure out why do you like this versus that, or those kind of things. So they do a great job of really communicating and breaking down, hey, this is why we like this and this is why we don't like that. So a lot of that stuff is really, really cool for me to experience and see. And I think the way they approach those meetings is very professional and diligent. So a lot of those things I've taken away and kind of grown from.
Probably a lot of things that maybe, despite as much as you played, just you didn't realize until you hear from somebody else, maybe their experiences.
I mean, absolutely. Yeah. You got what, 20 plus years of experience in that room. So, there's a lot to pick up on, and, those guys do an outstanding job in preparing each week and getting ready for Sundays, and it's been awesome being able to be, sit in on those meetings and actively take part in the game plan.
Go one more here, Jim Aiello.
Hey, Jacob, you mentioned some of those adjustments. I'm wondering, are you standing on the sidelines and saying, like, as Philip is making adjustments to the line, like, that's something I would do? Or, I mean, obviously he's got a lot more experience than you do in that regard.
Yeah. I mean, the hard part about the game is obviously, I'm on the sideline, he's on the field. So sometimes I can't hear some of the things he's doing. But, and the other thing Philip does is he makes decisions really, really quick, and he knows exactly what he wants to do and this and that. And, I think that'll come with, experience and, as I keep getting more and more reps. But my biggest part is, each play that's called, I like to think in my own head, all right, where am I thinking I'm going to go with the ball? And, who am I going to point as the mic and this and that, right? And, Philip does an incredible job with the pre-snap stuff and even the post-snap reads. So, a lot of time it's like I'll have my idea, then I'll check where Philip goes, and it's kind of just, evaluate why he went there versus what I was thinking. And then it's really cool when we all sit together on Tuesdays and review the game and kind of go through it that way. So, I say overall, having, watching Philip and watching Jacoby and hearing from Frank and Nick and Marcus in meetings, it's been a great experience.